Hi everyone, it's Miss Brienne. Today we're going to be making some edible Play-Doh, and I included one recipe in the lesson plans for today, but I figured I'd show you a second option that I actually think is a little bit easier. So for today's video, you're going to need a nice mixing bowl, some whipped vanilla icing. I recommend the vanilla or the white icing because we're going to be adding a little bit of food coloring later, some powdered sugar, and a little bit of food coloring. So once you get all your stuff together, we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, so this recipe calls for 1 part of icing for every 2 parts of powdered sugar. So right now in my bowl, I just added a 1/4 cup of the icing, and to that, I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of the powdered sugar. And what you're going to want to do is just mix that all together. At first, it probably is going to seem like there's a little bit too much powder in there, but just keep working it and it's going to turn into like a dough. And this isn't an exact science. If you find that your dough is becoming a little too sticky, just go ahead and add a little more powdered sugar. If it's a little bit too dry, add a little more icing. And once you notice that it's starting to like clump together a little more, I actually recommend going right in with your hands. And this part can be a little messy, so if you want to throw on some gloves, go ahead. All right. Another trick is if you find it getting too sticky, you could also put a little bit of all-purpose flour right on there. Not too much because you don't want to dry it out, but just like a coating of it. All right, now that you see it's become more like Play-Doh, you can either stop at this point, or if you want, you can add some food coloring. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of blue food coloring and add about like 5 drops. You could also separate this out into different bowls, make different colors. It's whatever you want. This is another point I recommend gloves because if you put a little too much food coloring, it might stain your fingers, which may be the case with me. And just keep on mixing that until you get a nice consistent color throughout your Play-Doh. And mine is actually getting a little bit sticky, so I'm going to do the flour trick and add a little bit of flour just to coat it a little bit, just a pinch. Yes, much better. And when you're done playing with the Play-Doh, I recommend storing it in like a little plastic container or a jar, just so it doesn't dry out. This is obviously not going to last as long as store-bought Play-Doh, but it's something fun to do. All right. Mine actually has a pretty cool marble effect that I kind of like, so I might stop at this point. And there you have it. Your own homemade edible Play-Doh. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I just want to say that I miss everyone, and I hope that we can all see each other again soon.